Alrighty guys, in this video I'll show you how to change the spark plugs on 2009 Audi R8. It's a V8 engine. We're gonna be doing spark plugs and the air filters as a part of 55,000 miles maintenance. So we're gonna start with the removing of these panels, which held by 1, 2, 3. It's like those clamps are just twist and release. 4, 5, and 6. As far as I remember, those are 6 clips that we need to remove. Then we're gonna take this strut out of here in order to take this completely out, and there's also a light right here which we need to disconnect from the back, the connector, and same goes to this side, and that's pretty much it. The next thing we're gonna do is remove the air filter box. The top part is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Torx 25. Yep, it's Torx 25. And also this one is just pops up. As you see, there's a kind of like spring connector in there. I'll just put it right here. Also taking those 2 clamps off, and I'm gonna be removing the connectors from the mass airflow sensors. Let me see how it goes. 1, the other one. Taking those out, and now 10 Torx bolts. Okay, now I'm gonna remove this filter and we'll replace it with the new one. We take this whole thing with the mass airflow sensor, so it's it seems to be Torx 20 bolts right here. We'll just transfer the mass airflow sensor back to the new filter, and that's it. And as you can see, this thing is filthy. Yeesh. Looks completely different, don't you think? Clean and clear. And it is the same filter. Exactly the same. And this one, I think, might have been OEM. while I'm here, I'm just gonna clean up the throttle bodies. Like I already cleaned this one, so I'm gonna take this one out. There's only one regular connector and 4 Torx 30 bolts. So we're gonna take them out and clean the throttle body. I'll take 3 and take them out. Be careful with there is a metal gasket here. I'm gonna reuse that. And cleaned a little bit of this dirt out. This one is better than the other one. The other one was much worse for some reason. And that's it. Very clean, much better than it was before. And we'll put it back with the gasket. At the same time, I removed the air filter box just to clean it out and also check on transmission components, see what's going on out there. Everything seems okay. The air filter box is held by 4 Torx 30 bolts. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. And also on the side there is those kind of vents going on right there. I'll show you how to put it back on. Alrighty, see, it's good. Now those 4 bolts, I'll adjust it a little bit. Next thing we're gonna do is remove 2 Torx 20 bolts that holding the wiring harness right here for the ignition coils. So one bolt is right here and the other one is right here. After that, I'll just unplug it one by one and I'll show you how to do that. I'm gonna use this tool to kind of slide out one by one those coils. just like that, keeping a little bit of tension in here. And the last one. Those are out. Switch. So all the coils are free. You can see there a little bit of a coolant from the previous issue. It was a coolant expansion tank was leaking, so we replaced that before. And now we can just simply twist it and lift the coils up. If they feel stuck, I would say you can use a little bit of a screwdriver, let's say, but it should be fine just like that. Here you go. This is your ignition coil, and right behind it your spark plug. I'm gonna show you like the hardest one in my consideration is the back one, so just to make sure it's possible to do without removing the expansion tank on this side, and it's possible to do on the other side without removing anything else after I remove the coils. I'm gonna use the screwdriver just to pop it up. Those are those coils. Yep, it's this one. There you go. And the first one, well, actually number 5. There you go. So now we have all 4 ignition coils removed. They are all the same, and you don't have to follow any specific order where you put them out and put it at the same spot. They all interchangeable, so don't worry about that. Now to remove the spark plugs, we're just gonna use a regular 16mm spark plug socket. I think I'll start with this kind of short extension. Short considering this is the long one, this is the shortest one. It's in between the long one and the short one. So I'm gonna use this, and we'll start from the rear one, the rear spark plug. Yep, that's exactly right. So this spark plug is loose. So the best way to get the spark plug out is to use a magnet. If you don't have a magnet, you can use the ignition coil, and I'll show you how to do that. Just simply put it back in, and there you go. Here's your spark plug. Ooh. It's in some action. Good thing we're replacing them. And this is NGK. We're gonna be using Bosch. Those are recommended OEM spark plugs. So the back spark plug is the hardest one. The rest is kind of right here, and there is not many things on the way. Pretty simple, so I'm gonna remove those as well, and we can go on the other side after installing those. There is plenty of room to take the spark plug out and everything. Like, you don't have to even touch the expansion tank. Okay guys, so the spark plugs are installed on passenger side. I'm gonna put the coils back in. This is how you do it. When you're putting them back, just make sure they go down all the way. Every coil will go exactly one way only, all the way down, because it has this little tabs on the sides. This is where it's supposed to go, and just click in there. All the coils are back in. I'll put the connectors in. Make sure they go all the way in on every single coil, and only after that just put those two Torx 20 bolts in, and this side is done. We'll go to the next one. The same structure right here. We got the Torx 20 bolts, two of them, on the ignition coil wiring harness. We have a little bit more room in here just because we don't have expansion tank on the way, but we have this vacuum line. It doesn't really bother me, but if it does for you, it's just two Torx 30 bolts here and quick release connector from the secondary air injection pump, and you can just move it out of the way. So I loosen the Torx 20. And it is exactly the same way with the connectors, so I'm just gonna pry it up a little bit and slide it one by one. And here goes the last one. Alrighty, they are out of the way, and now we can use the screwdriver to take the coils out. I'm gonna use the same length of extension with the socket on, so I'll put it first in the last cylinder. And this should work for all four of them. Although on those I think you can use a little extension just to make it simpler. Yeah, I'm gonna use this little extension on the last two to make it simpler. Just be careful with this hose. This should be a fuel line. Yeah, it is a fuel line. The filter goes exactly in one position. Come over here. So this line right here goes into this gap, the furthest one, the thin one, and you can see this guy right here goes over here, so it looks just like that. I'll put it in the boot first. Then we'll align this right here and just stretch it just a little bit over here. There you go. Everything's lined up perfectly fine. Now we can connect the master flow sensors and tighten those clamps. And the only thing will be left to do is to put the cover back on and put the plastic pieces back. So we're gonna put the plastic back on. Don't forget to connect the light in the back. Do it first. We put it in place, the connector is in place, everything's loose. I put back the pin in here for the strut, so now we can put it back on and put the cap for the power steering back on. Also remember, it's just a one turn, 90-degree turn. All the clips. Alrighty, this side is done, and the same is gonna happen over there. Here's the way to remove the strut. You just put the screwdriver here, slide it off a little bit, just like that, and then you can pry it out. And then put it back on. It's a good idea to have someone holding the lead, but you can do it. I showed you how to do it on your own. Once again, connect the electrical connector for the light first, and then proceed. Everything in place, you just push it, and that's it. This is it. The spark plugs changed, air filters changed, throttle body's cleaned, everything worked out very good, and we also completed the oil change in the other video. So this is it for 55,000 miles service, and thank you guys for watching. See you next time.